Good weekend.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Let's see, who is this we got here? What's good, James? Just getting on here. Getting on here a little bit later this morning. Forgot I had an acupuncture appointment. But I did want to just get on and holler at everybody for a minute. Fatherhood Fridays. It's been a busy time this month, Black History Month. As y'all know, I call it Black Mental Health Month because we got to take better care of ourselves these days. Supposed to be heading down to Jacksonville tomorrow for an event, but I think we're going to have to cancel it because that weather looking pretty bad and we're supposed to walk on the bridge. So may not be able to do that tomorrow, but you know, hey, we got a lot of stuff that's going on, period. So regardless of if we make it happen tomorrow or not, got another big event in Atlanta, Georgia next Saturday, Black Men Bowl at the Riverside Epicenter. We actually gonna have that from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. next Saturday the 24th. The Riverside Epicenter rented out the whole bowling lane. We'll have breakfast, bowling, conversations, have some door prizes to give away as well, some books, some t-shirts, just so we can feed into each other next weekend. Good morning everybody once again. One of the things I wanted to kind of just touch base on, and anybody that's in here can put it in the chat. Has anybody done anything for their change in mental health and personal self-care this year? I'm sitting here this morning for the first time at one of the WellStar offices here in the Vinings, and I'm about to get acupuncture for the first time. Many of y'all know I talk about it. I do my therapy, go to the chiropractor, get my massages, physical therapy. I get everything done that I need to get done, just to make sure that I have those woosah moments. So this morning I thought I'd try acupuncture, but I'd be interested to see what do some of you fathers that are on here do for your self-care, for your mental health. It's something that we got to continue to do a better job at. I have been involved in several initiatives here recently. Last week was the National Parents Union Fathers Mending and Healing that I touched on last week. And, you know, the differences between, you know, how the younger folks are looking at fatherhood versus some of the older ones. But I think that the common denominator here is that we as fathers have to take better care of ourselves so that we can be more ever present for our families and especially our children. It's such a shift in how things happen in today's society. A lot of it is the same, but then with the use of social media and those sorts of things, and I was talking about this last night at the Buckhead Club, where I was there at a meeting with the Smithsonian and some members of the Boys Club as well and other educators. And one of the things that we, talked about is just that the whole change in media, as well as how we have to approach our kids these days is different, because their level of AI and level of knowledge is so much more magnified, and what they're able to have at their hands and at their exposure, that, you know, we have to be sensitive to that. And a lot of times it comes to, we have to arm ourselves as well to ensure that we are ready to help them. But I think that a lot of those tools and things that come into play is just things that we can do on a regular basis to have our mind shift as well. Mindset is key, and that's one of the things that was brought up last night, is that you know, they have different tools out there now that, good or bad, they help shape the minds of us as adults, but more importantly, shape the minds of our kids in the future. So what are we doing as fathers to really take control of our minds better, so that we can also help our kids, help our families? Anybody doing anything particular that they feel as though has been a shift in their mind, a shift in how they approach their kids, or are we still truly just passing on traumas? And that's one of the things that the Boys Club was talking about specifically around, the Boys and Girls Club was talking about specifically around our youth and the mental health sector, is that, you know, how are we dealing with the traumas? Then you may also have the trauma awareness, that different folks may work on these particular areas to help our kids address the traumas. But what are we doing to address the traumas? The kids don't learn traumas on their own. The kids learn traumas from us. And that's one of the key areas that we have to focus on, is, have we handled our own personal traumas? Or are we still just passing these traumas on from generation to generation? It's not too many settings that I'm not in and traumas aren't brought up. And one of the things that I've identified with is that all traumas are not bad traumas. I've mentioned it previously, and, you know, some of you all may remember, some of you don't, but, you know, my trauma was I had it so good until when I hit the real world, it was very traumatic for me. So I think that these are the things that we have to take into consideration, is, have we truly faced our traumas? And if we haven't faced our traumas, what can we do to identify and face our own personal traumas before we bring them into our families, bring them into our kids, bring them into our communities? Because if we continue to operate the same way, with the same mentality, with the same mindset, then we're only going to keep continuing to see the same things happening from generation to generation to generation. I see my brother Ruben Tillman on here. Welcome, my brother. It's good to see you on here this morning. I know that you've been busy. Just to catch up on a couple of things, just talking about some of the events that have been going on recently that I've been involved in. Fathers, Mending and Healing, the Smithsonian last night with the Boys and Girls Club, just learning more about the education around it. But I was just curious with some of the brothers out here, you know, what are some of the things that we've done, you know, differently, to move differently in 2024, to work on our mental health, to work on our self-care. I'm booked with personal events, not just along with the Brothers Brunch Foundation, but like I said this morning, I'm doing the acupuncture. You know, next week I got my physical therapy visit. Last week it was the chiropractor. I even added on a new therapist. That's something that we don't, you know, think about sometimes, is, you know, who can help us navigate through life differently. And it doesn't always have to be that we have something bad. That's why I said differently. It's not always just about the help that we need, but sometimes it's about the guidance. And if we change the narrative, and if we change how we look at situations, everything wouldn't be so traumatic, or wouldn't end up in a traumatic state. But when we truly start to look at life as an opportunity for us, and not live in survival mode from day to day, That's when we truly see a change and a shift in our mindset. With that mindset and that shift, we mold not only ourselves, but we are able to mold our children. We're able to mold our families. We're able to ultimately bring our villages back together that we so yearn to have, because that's one of the key reasons that we have so much going on in our communities these days, is because we've lost our villages. That's one of the things we're trying to do at Brothers Brunch Foundation, is to make sure that we're bringing our men back together. And that's why we have events quarterly. We have events monthly, just to make sure that we're reuniting our villages, reuniting our men, so that we can have better guidance. Just to let you all know of some of the things that are coming up around the Brothers Brunch Foundation. We had a busy 3 weeks, and I mentioned at the beginning that tomorrow's event in Jacksonville, Florida, will probably have to be postponed due to weather, but we have the next weekend here in Atlanta, Georgia. We have the Black Men Bowl at the Riverside Epicenter. So far, I got 25 registered, but that's just who's registered. That's not who told me all that will come. So we'll have breakfast, fellowship, and several door prizes that can benefit all of the men. We also, on March the 2nd, here in Atlanta, Georgia, going to do one of our first barbershop talks. Get together early in the morning at the barbershop and fellowship and have some breakfast. Bringing it back down to the community where everybody can see and hear some of the conversations that the brothers are having. We definitely need our intimate space, but sometimes we're going to have to branch out of the Brothers Brunch Foundation and reach out to the community so that others can see us as men mending and healing. And I think that that's one of the key things, that we have to not be shy about sharing how we are mending and healing. It's not soft because we do certain things. Heck, I went and got my pedicure yesterday. I know a lot of men now posting about the pedicure, but that can be a 30-minute woo-saw moment just for you to sit and get that massage in the chair so you can relax. How many times are we giving ourselves an actual outlet? I spoke at an event last week, a health fair. One of the things I mentioned was that I told the brothers, I said, how many times do you have to say, I can't go, I can't do something because my wife has me doing something? Well, brothers, how many times does your wife or your mate actually say, I can't go because he has me doing something, or he needs me to do something? Just think about that. Do we ever truly take time for ourselves besides to go hang out with the fellas? Do we sacrifice time that we need for our personal mental health and self-care to maybe not do something? Those are the things that are going to keep us living. Those are things that's going to keep us stronger. Those are things that are going to keep us wiser. As we continue to move forward through 2024, and like I said, I'm going to be on here every Friday. I'm committed this year. I might be a little bit late sometimes, but we're going to be on here, brothers, and share with other brothers so that we can all come together and put some things in the chat. Or if you want to join in, just, hey, tap me in, because it's not all about the wisdom of things that I've learned. It's about the collective mind and the collective of the community that's truly going to help us be as successful as we can be. So no matter if you're down in New Orleans, where I see my cousin, in Douglasville, where I see my brother Duval, where I see one of my other brothers that popped in on here, we're all one. This is a brotherhood. This is the Brothers Brunch Foundation. Keep in touch. Always feel free to share. And if there's ever something that you all want to talk about or want to get more information on so we can strengthen each other, please let me know. It's not the Scooter Show. No, this is not the Scooter Show. This is the Brothers Brunch Foundation. So everybody have an amazingly blessed day. I look forward to hearing from my brothers that are here and there. But next weekend, if we not able to have our event in Jacksonville, Riverside Epicenter, 10 a.m. breakfast, bowling, and fellowship of brothers. Y'all have an amazing, blessed weekend, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.